Great. Nice to meet you all. My name's Matt Lovegrove. I'm the ICT coordinator at a primary school. I was just at Sonning Common Primary, and I've just recently moved to Sippenham Primary School in Slough. And I'm also a Google certified teacher, which means I've been through the Google Teacher Academy in 2010, and I'm very aware there's one coming up soon in April. So if you're a teacher or you work in a school or in education, please apply. It's a really inspirational session. I'm going to be talking to you today about how we rolled out Google Apps for Education to our school and the benefits it's had on students. And I'm going to be showing you a couple of videos from our students as well. How many of you know what Google Apps is? One person. How many of you have used it before? How many of you are teachers? Any of you teachers? Fantastic. What it came for us is we were quite a large primary school, and we've been using a learning platform that didn't really kind of suit our needs. It was an out-of-the-box learning platform, and it wasn't really doing what we wanted it to do. So we started exploring different solutions as to how we could make our children become more digitally literate. So as part of this process, we were considering Google Apps for Education. And these are the things that we considered. First of all, of course, it's children, their learning. How is this going to help children with learning? How is it going to give them some literacy that's digital? So how are they going to become more successful digital users? In what ways could they use it to collaborate with each other, which is a really important word at the moment, isn't it? We're trying to encourage children to work together. Of course, we wanted them using modern technology. We wanted them using a cloud solution. We wanted it to be safe. We wanted them to be able to use something across the curriculum, so whatever we had in was going to be used in different ways throughout different subjects. We wanted to encourage them to extend their home learning, and also we wanted something that was controlled by us, because out of the box wasn't really working. But we also needed a team behind us, so that if something went wrong or we needed help, they'd be able to come in and help us. So we chose Google Apps. For any of you who are not unfamiliar, this is the SAMR model of technology. And basically, it's when you're introducing something new, it's always good looking at. And we felt that Google Apps was up right at the top. So it actually allowed for new tasks to be created and children to have different experiences. These are the Google Apps. So when you sign up for a Google Apps account as a school, it's free, first of all, which is a really big benefit. Your students each get a calendar. They each get the opportunity to be able to chat with each other online, so when they're signed in, they can talk through with each other. They each get the ability to make websites, which has been really powerful. They have the ability to store their documents online, to make documents and have them online. I'm not sure what that one is. You get Postini, which is an email filter. I think that's been built in now to Google Apps. You get Google Video, and really importantly as well, you get email for your school. So all students get their own email address. So I'll start off with that one first of all. Email's been hugely successful at our school. We didn't have a solution before. We were using the Oxfordshire email system. Are any of you from Oxfordshire? Just one at the back. It's not a very good email system, is it? No, it's completely rubbish. So now our kids are using Gmail to communicate with each other, which has been great. It's more modern. It's given them a chance to chat with each other. You can do things like set up your own filters. So we encourage children not to swear in emails, and actually it doesn't even let them send it. They can't get to that point where they can send it. And where it really came for me was that one of my students went to Australia for a while, and she was emailing somebody else back in school to talk about her experiences, and she was getting some emails back again as well. What's really nice about Google Apps is you can set the email to stay just in your domain. So it means that nobody can email outside. So we're not going to get kids emailing strangers or strangers emailing inside as well. I've got a video from one of my ex-students who's going to be talking a bit about email.
I used the cloud in Australia to talk to my friends and see what was going on in England and tell them how hot it was in Australia and what I was doing.
And did you get the emails back and things like that?
Yeah, and I got emails back and it was fine.
Did you think it was a good way of communicating and keeping in touch?
Yeah, it was a really good way of keeping in touch.
How often did you check your email?
Like once every hour or something.
So we've been developing children who are starting to get used to using email to communicate with each other, and before we didn't have a system to do that. Google Apps has given us that system for free, but also a really powerful system in doing it as well. And the next thing we started looking at was Google Sites, which is a really powerful way of keeping learning inside the school, but also sharing your learning as well. If any of you aren't familiar, Google Sites lets you build websites. So you can make your own websites. You don't have to be a HTML expert. It's a what you see is what you get editor, but also you can make a lot more with it as well. So this is what I was doing with my year 5s. Instead of just writing in a book, which is what teachers make children do, we started to develop websites to hold information that we'd found. And I thought this was such a nice way of sharing. Children were going home. They were adding information to their website. They were working out how to add pictures. Some of them were working out how to add gadgets that you can build into sites as well. And before you know it, you've got a huge website full of information that children can use to help them extend their learning. But it's also great fun making one as well. One of our Year 4 teachers made this website for his class as well. And I love children's spelling, so it's really nice to look at. But this is how we're starting to use it, really, as a way of recording work. You can add pictures, gadgets. You can add video, sounds, really easy to attach. And one of the nice things is that children were giving each other comments so they can quite naturally assess each other and leave comments for themselves. And it meant that I could go in there and leave productive comments for them or say they need to improve on this or work on this. Now, when a website like this is finished, to begin with, it's inside your domain. When it's finished, you can publish this to the world. So it gives children a real platform to enjoy their learning, and it also gives it it's really motivational knowing that once they've done a piece of work, it won't just be them or their teacher that sees it. It will be everybody else as well. Here's a video about sites in my school.
I have made 5 websites, and this is one of them. I did it with my friend, and you can put pictures and games on it. So, and you can make like sub-pages and then add games and maps and things onto it. So, and then you can put comments, so when anybody goes on it, they can leave comment.
So that was Isabel, she was one of the people that made a website without teachers encouraging her to. She just decided it would be a good idea. And that's the kind of learning that children can start doing. They're making their own resources, making their own ideas and sharing it with each other as well. Now, this was something that I just started exploring, which I think has got so much potential for schools. This is Google Docs. Any of you used Google Docs before? Have any of you used it with classes before? Fantastic. You give your children a login to Google Apps for Education, and they each get their own documents storage area where they can make documents online and store them online, and they can upload things they've previously done. So I was encouraging my class to do all of their homework online because they enjoyed it more, it was more motivational for them. But also having this storage area online means you don't need to worry about having any other software. This gives you a word processor, presentation tools, spreadsheets and various other things. And everything's stored in their own storage area, which is fantastic. So what we were getting to was to the point where children were doing their homework or doing work online. They were sharing the document with me, which meant it then appeared in my Google Documents account as well. And then I was leaving them some feedback. They would come back to their Documents account, see that I'd left them feedback. They could go in there and realise that there's something they need to improve on. I would often highlight that to say, I've read your work. Well done for doing it online. Well done for using paragraphs and commas, but this is something for you that you need to go on and try and do. Now, this meant marking's a nightmare, we all know that. It was really quick to do, much easier to do, and it was much more powerful because it was marking there and then. In actual fact, in Google Docs, if a child's online writing work, you can see that they're online, and you can go in there and you can live write with them. So you could see live text coming, and you could go through and actually help them out there and then. The last way we use Google Apps as a school is, do any of you use APP? APP grids? Yeah, boo. They're not nice, are they? Not nice at all. But we started to try and do this online. So this was a spreadsheet that we'd made with all of our children and what things they were achieving and what things they needed to work on. And then, of course, we were sharing it with other teachers, sharing it with our head teacher, and then everybody else could come online and see what they were doing. And this is the power of using Google Apps in a very collaborative way. It means that you can have one document that's visible to a number of people. Everyone could see what was going on. It's just a really nice way of sharing. So we'd only just really touched the surface of Google Apps. There's so many things that you can use it for. Documents is great. Websites we found fantastic. It was really motivational for our children. They love building their own websites. And of course, email gave them a really safe way of being able to communicate. We often found they were talking to their teachers more They were certainly communicating with each other more. It was much safer than any other email solution that we'd had in place as well. And this all came for free through Google Apps, which has really transformed our learning at our school. We now think that we are a pretty good school at using modern technology. So my name is Matt Lovegrove. Please feel free to come and chat with me. I am Google certified, so I can help you roll the same thing out at your school as well. Thank you very much. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for whilst I'm still? Yeah. We used email from years 3 to 6, but we could have used it from probably year 2 to 6. We decided that year 3 was our kind of starting point. It was all in one domain. Yeah, we bought our own domain. Google Apps was free to then roll out. But the nice thing, of course, being in your own domain is children can't send or receive emails to strangers unless you want them to. But teachers could, so yeah. Thank you.